You mentioned emotional post-processing as a strategy you use to replace social interactions, so you can sort of reverse engineer and to help you understand the neurotypical world. I think this is going to be useful to a lot of people. Like, what does that entail? How does that help you?
So if I meet somebody, particularly somebody new, and it's my first couple of interactions with them, it's like even meeting you today, then I will go home later and replay all of the moments where I had choices to make, and probably the most uncomfortable ones first, to find out, what did I do wrong in that moment? What did I miss? What was the other person thinking? How can I improve that kind of situation next time? And do I need to go fix it or make a phone call? That
Hmm.
kind of thing in in an extreme case. But and that's happened a couple times in my life. Like, I had a car restored that my dad had bought new in '69. I still have it, so we've had it 50 years. And about 20 years ago, I had it restored, and it was like a 3-year process of craftsmen working on this car for thousands of hours. And I go out to pick it up, and I'm inspecting the car, and I'm very impressed with the work, and I'm saying, "Oh, this is nice and this is great," and everything else. And then I fly home and write the check, and the car gets delivered. And then I realized, probably 10 years later, that I had a whole bunch of craftsmen that had worked on my car for 3 years, and I probably should have blown some smoke up their butts about what a great job they did. But I never did that because it's not what I wanted or needed in that moment. And I was completely oblivious to that. So I sent an email to the manager or to the owner of the place, and I said, "I don't know if you remember this, but 10 years ago, I picked up my car, and I probably looked unimpressed, but I want you to know that I was very impressed with everything and the quality and everything else." And he wrote back, he's like, "I've thought of that moment often." So I'm like, now I'm glad I
Yeah,
brought it up.
there's subtle things about human interaction that mean a lot to people. And if you ask them straight up, they might not be able to sort of articulate that, but it means a lot. And when it's off, when something is off, it bothers them.
Right.
But to reverse engineer that, to figure that out for a person who might not sense those little subtleties of human interaction, it's tough.
That's a good point to jump in there too on empathy, because there is some perception in the community that people with autism lack empathy. And I don't think that's the case at all. I can only speak for myself. I feel fairly empathetic. But I think the problem is a communication one, and it works in both directions. Whereas I don't know how you're feeling, so it's hard for me to be empathetic with it until you communicate to me what it is you're experiencing. And then once I have an understanding of what's going on in your head, I can feel incredibly sorry for you. But until then, I'm going to assume you're going to handle it just like I would in your position, in my case, with what I know now.